Hello, all. Welcome to week two of Management 3045. So this week, we look at the um, different modes of transportation. And, when you think about that, I gave a nice post on here talking about the five key modes of transportation, which are rail, roadways, air, waterways, and pipeline. So, just as you think through that, as you look through the material this week, I would challenge you to actually then, I guess, further go to look at it and just think about the pros and cons of each one. Stop and think about what could go wrong with each one. As we live in this time where everything is delayed, everyone talks about the supply chain being a problem. I would really challenge you to look at what could be delayed. When you look at rail, it does offer, that it's a high capacity. I mean, everyone's been stopped at a crossing in this train. It seems like it's 500 cars goes by you. It's very economical. Here in the U.S., where I think that rail really comes into to play, is when you're looking at things that can be bulk transported. I guess there's two ways. First one is bulk transported. So think of grains, oils, natural gas, kind of these things that are not packaged. They go into a big tanker. They go into a big bulk car, and can be transported that way. If you consider that all the wheat that is produced in the Midwest has to go to bakeries and be refined all throughout the country, rail is much more economical for that than truck is. Also for rail, what you may see often is items that are international in origin, and then they're coming into the country. So you would see, container ships coming into the Port of Long Beach or to Vancouver, San Diego, Seattle, whatever on the West Coast, or on the East Coast, maybe Newark or Charlotte or Jacksonville. And then they would, and let's say that's coming to Indiana, that's coming to Illinois, and face it, most trains are going to go through Chicago, huge hub. They could offload, everything comes to Chicago, and then it's broken down and sent to, say, Detroit, Indianapolis, Lexington, Nashville, whatnot. So, when you think about rail, I want you to think about what could go wrong in that, and then how could you mitigate that as a supply chain professional. Roadways, they bring the benefit of having a lot of flexibility. The road is going to pick up where the rail leaves off. It's very beneficial. However, it can be very costly, so you're paying for that flexibility and that convenience. Right now, I think what you see is some risk within the roadway is cost with fuel, but also with shortages. There's not as many truck drivers as there was 5, 10, 15 years ago. And then air. Air is the fastest. It's pretty flexible, but I would really think of air no different than rail. Air is a more expensive version of rail. Because there's not going to be an airport that can take a cargo plane everywhere. So if you are having something manufactured in, Los Angeles, and you are a distribution center, and you're located in a small town, Williamsburg, Kentucky. Williamsburg, Kentucky does not have an airport that can handle an airliner. So that's going to fly into Nashville, or it's going to fly into Lexington or Louisville, and then it's going to have to then come truck. So waterways are going to be, they're the lowest cost. So when you're bringing stuff over from Asia, from Europe, shipping to Asia, shipping to Europe, waterway is going to be how you ship at the cheapest rate. It's also the slowest. It's also the most economically friendly, so it can actually get you some benefit in your sustainability scores. And then pipelines are going to be very cheap, but it's only really for oil, natural gas, other liquids. They're low cost, but it does have a high investment. It's a very specialized product, and it's only that one product can run through a pipeline. So you can run, and like the way they do it with gas companies is they'll run 89 octane, and the next day they run 93, and the next day they run 87. But you cannot run oil through and then run gas through, and then run natural gas. It's dedicated. So it's not very flexible. It's very specialized. So, and then when you start to look at these, what I think about the risk. So as you're analyzing this, going into the homework this week, think about the risk. Think about how you would mitigate that risk. What's your backup plan? So, just some quick thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day. Bye.